Collaborative learning is a widely used didactic method in higher education. It can be a very effective part of the learning process. Even so, it doesn't always lead to the desired learning outcomes. Collaborative learning usually involves students working on a group project. A common complaint is that some group members aren't doing their share. Also, students often split up team tasks instead of carrying them out collaboratively. Some students rightly point out that they could have created the same final product better and faster if they'd been allowed to work on their own. When students have to collaborate while completing individual final projects, such as in a graduation group, investing time in the work of fellow students sometimes feels rather pointless. Investing in collaboration must have some benefit. Otherwise, why would you ask students to do it? Collaborative learning may be geared towards developing a product, but the focus can also be on developing knowledge together. In that case, the product is merely the context. This animation is about collaborative learning in which students develop a group product together, and what to be aware of if you want to use this collaborative format. Collaborative learning only serves a purpose in the learning process if it adds a deeper dimension to the learning process of each individual team member. It should improve the learning outcomes of every student. Therefore, collaborative learning is worthwhile only if the assignment is large and complex enough that students need to share the workload. More importantly, there should be a real advantage to pooling team members' knowledge and creativity. Another common reason for using collaborative learning is that students develop skills they will need professionally, but this is based on a misconception. Besides being an exercise in frustration, collaborative learning groups people in teams in ways that are not common in professional practice. There is no formal team leader, students all possess roughly the same knowledge, and their collaborative efforts are directed at obtaining a mark. The contexts are too dissimilar. To teach students what it takes to work effectively as part of a team, you must lay the groundwork and guide and support the collaborative learning process, imposing clear roles and agreements. Because collaborative learning teams are often composed randomly, they need time to gel as a group and to develop collaboration skills that match the team composition and project. Teams evolve as each member develops their position within the team, and they reach agreement about the product they want to deliver and how to do this. Lecturers play a complex role in collaborative learning. In addition to providing instructions for and supervising the project itself, they also guide the team's collaboration. This becomes even more complicated if, as well as guiding the process, the lecturer is also assessing the final product. This can impact how students relate to the lecturer. Collaborative learning doesn't happen of its own accord. It has to be designed with a view to achieving real collaboration with in-depth learning for all participating students. Everything starts with the project you assign. This has to teach students what it is you want them to learn. The assignment also has to build in scope for students to develop different solutions or products. This is necessary for the collaborative aspect to add something valuable to the learning process. Collaborative learning is really only worthwhile if the team members come at it from different angles. This gives space for creative solutions. You can ensure the value of collaborative learning by designing assignments so that students from different disciplines can work together. It's no simple matter to reach clear agreements about collaboration and who does what. Collaborative learning teams should therefore be limited to 5 members. This minimises room for free riding. You can foster effective collaboration by creating roles and tasks that have to be assigned within the team. The team must agree on how each member will take responsibility for their part. Teams that spend a lot of time together and talk a lot are not necessarily more effective, even though that may be the impression. A team's effectiveness is determined mainly by the substance of team discussions. A lecturer can influence the quality of these substantive discussions by scripting. This could be by providing specific knowledge needed for the assignments to different team members and stimulating exchange, or by starting discussions and asking relevant questions. It's demotivating for students to know they'll only be graded as a team on the final product, and not for the amount and quality of work made by individual members. In collaborative learning, you have to involve students in the assessment and highlight differences between them. Ask students to evaluate their own and their team members' contribution to the product and the collaboration. Then include this information to calculate individual marks. The learning environment has to be used in a way that enhances the learning process. Teams have to be able to discuss with each other at school when needed, and to use the virtual environment to collaborate remotely. The virtual environment has to offer the functions that students need to collaborate effectively. This includes appropriate communication tools, spaces to share interim products, feedback, and ways to publish the final results of their collaboration. The virtual environment also makes it possible to support the collaborative learning process in a targeted manner. Collaborative efforts can be tracked along the way. This creates awareness among team members and gives the lecturer cues for guidance. A virtual environment creates transparency in the learning process. All interactions are recorded, feedback is visible, and interim products are shared. The Teaching, Learning and Technology Research Group conducts research into collaborative learning and the effective use of technology for this purpose. For additional information, visit the research group's website www.inholland.nl/TLT.